Well, hello there. How are you doing today? Do you feel like doing a little bit of redecorating with me today? Well, come on in. Let's get started. What do I have going on for you for today? Well, I thought that I would take you on the journey as I transform my bedroom. I have been in the process of transforming this house. I've lived in this house for almost 20 years now, and it has pretty much stayed the same over those 20 years, and it was our family home. And over the last 6 months, I have been transforming this home from what used to be our family home into the girls and I's home, and really changing the look of it, changing the feel of it, and making it our home now, making it feel like our home versus what was once our family home. One room that I haven't done is my bedroom, and my bedroom, there's a lot of feeling there, a lot of feeling that goes deep in that room, and that room has been a struggle for me. It's been a struggle for me to sleep in. It's been a struggle for me to just be in over the last 6 months. And so I thought that I would take you on this journey as it gets done and show you all the steps and the transformation of my room, starting with the before I ever even painted it to the after. So you'll want to stay tuned for this. Come along with me and let me show you what the room looked like once upon a time and the subtle changes that I made to it as I started transforming this room little by little. I'm gonna quit my gabbing. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so this is my room, what once was for 17 years. I don't know that it was completely my taste, but it was what once was. And so once that chapter of my life ended, I felt like I needed to make some subtle changes to the room, which I did, and it was never really enough for me. I've always kind of struggled to be in this room over the last couple years. I think because of the memories that it held, and I wasn't really understanding that there was a lot that came with this room, and just making the subtle changes that I made with little decor pieces here and there, it wasn't enough. It still didn't represent who I was and what felt like home to me or comfort to me. And so I knew at some point when I was ready, I would change the look of the room. I would change the paint. I would change the furniture if need be, but it wasn't a place that I had gotten to until recently. And I think it was just learning about the reality of my life that made me come to a place where I could then no longer sleep in this room, because I was left redefining my life and who I was to my ex-husband. And the room still looked so much like it did when we were married, and the betrayal and the deception was happening. And in my brain, getting subtle things like these chairs. I had always wanted a sitting area in my room and never had. And I found these chairs on Walmart.com, and I got them and I loved them. And it was just one of those small pieces that I started to add to the room. But the room still felt the same to me. And I would say probably for the last 5 or 6 months, I've been sleeping on my couch because it was just too hard to be in this room, and I got tired of sleeping on the couch. So I knew that I needed to change this room, and it was time. So I'm gonna take you on this journey with me, and this was the before. So you're gonna see the before and what I did after, and there is a drastic change, and I couldn't be happier with the way this room looks. So let's take a look. Diving on into this room came with speakers in every room of the house, these big box speakers that were mounted. And as when we first moved in, they were an upgrade, and it was something amazing because there was surround sound throughout the house. There was this intercom system that was also throughout the house. But over the 20 years, it became very dated. And since I was completely gutting this room to make it my own, the speakers had to go. And this wasn't something I was gonna hire out for. And so this was definitely a challenge that I was ready to take on myself. Wasn't sure how these things were mounted on, but I was gonna figure it out and get these things down because I didn't need these big clunky speakers in my room anymore. You've got Bluetooth speakers now in Alexa, and look at there, I got it down. So I'm gonna show you just how determined I was to do this on my own, do it on a budget, and get this room looking the way I wanted it to look so it felt like home and comfort and safety to me. Once I got it down, there was a plastic cover up in the ceiling that had just a slight hole in it that covered the major hole, I guess, that was there from mounting the speakers, but I just didn't even want any trace of the speakers. I knew I could go to Lowe's and probably buy another plastic cover that didn't have holes in it. But since I have become a drywall expert in the last couple of months, I figured, you know what, I know how to patch drywall now pretty good. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna patch up this hole because I don't need it there. I don't even wanna remember that the speakers were there. I just want them gone. And so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and patch this up just like I did the intercom system that I took out that is here in the room that you'll see me take out as well. Feel inspired, take on the task, challenge yourself because you can do it. You make a mistake, it's not like you can't fix it. I'm excited just rewatching this and remembering all the work that I put into this. That pink to white patch and paint is the best because then you really know when it's dry and it's ready to sand. Once it was dry, I did sand it and I did put some wall texture up there, sprayed it on up there before I painted the rest of the room, sanded it down, and I don't even know if I painted it because I don't think I had any ceiling paint, but it blended in so well I didn't need to. Here is the intercom system as well that I had, and again, it was very dated. It was something that was just kind of an eyesore now, or had become an eyesore. Wasn't something that we even used. I don't know the last time we used this. It had to have been years ago, and there were one of these speakers in every room of the house. And as I'm sitting here in my craft room doing this voiceover, I can see in back of me that there is one that I never took out that is here in my craft room. And I don't know that I have the paint for my craft room. I think that's probably why I didn't take it out. But the kids and I use our cell phones now, so we don't need an intercom system, and I just didn't want it anymore. And now that I know how to do drywall, it was an easy fix. I don't want to be too deep or too heavy in this, but I want to say that sometimes when you're in a not so good place or you're feeling less than about life or yourself, it's good to try and challenge yourself with something like this. And it's okay to give yourself credit and to pat yourself on the back and to accept those successes and those achievements when they come, because it's in accepting that you're going to heal and you're gonna regain the self-confidence or the self-esteem that you might be lacking in your life because of whatever your circumstances are. And so I'm super happy with how this turned out. It turned out perfect. You can't even tell that there was once a intercom there. And so yeah, I say out with the old, in with the new. There was something super therapeutic and healing about taking down each of the pieces, that were in this room, and I sold them. I sold them on Facebook Marketplace, and I took that money that I made off of the decor that was once in my room and used it to replace it with decor that felt more like me now, that defined my taste and what feels comfortable and safe and like home to me. And I can't wait to show you the outcome, but you're gonna have to stay tuned for that and watch the transformation. Alrighty, so because we are going down to a blank canvas, I was seizing the opportunity to redo my floorboards. It had been, again, 20 years since this house had been painted, so there was some settling of the house, cracks in the drywalls. The floorboards had cracks, had separated from the walls, had big gaps, and so I was really just taking the opportunity to really just kind of clean this up and fix and repair everything that needed to be done. And so yeah, I am taping off the carpet because I'm not a big taper off or personer, but I wanted to work smarter, not harder, and I wanted to do the floorboards before I painted the walls, so I could just slap that paint on and only cut in once with the color of the walls right up against the floorboards. And so you can see just by taping off the carpet there, I can slap on that white paint, and it is a lot quicker than trying to cut in 2 times on a floorboard than on the wall. Yeah, so I'm excited. I am using a classic white on my floorboards versus what used to be Swiss coffee. I felt like the classic white just made everything look crisp and white and new again, and we are going for new. Yes, oh my goodness, all the floorboards in my house, can I tell you, they look amazing. Not gonna lie, super excited to update this and transform my draperies / curtains. These are 20 years old. Thank you, Curtains and Cornice Box, for your service in doing what you did for the 20 years that you did it. But it is time to do away with this style and update it and make it something that screams me and everything that I love. I am going for that modern farmhouse look. I'm not going to do away with these curtains though. I am still going to utilize them because, well, draperies, not curtains, because the quality of these is amazing. The length of them is a pretty long length, and the price for curtains that length is kind of astronomical. These are blackout curtains. They are on a cord, so I can open and close them with a cord. I don't want to do away with that. I just want them to look different. So I am going to just cover these up. And yeah, work smarter, not more expensiver. Is that another way? Yeah, you know, I'm trying to save money. I'm doing this on a budget, and that's what we're gonna do, and it's gonna look amazing. So this was a pretty heavy piece. Didn't realize how heavy it was. It is all wood, so I'm glad I'm keeping this. I went on over to Joann's, looked at their upholstery fabric, and Joann's still does offer a 50% off coupon off of one regular priced item, and it does pertain to fabric as well, one cut of fabric. So once I found an upholstery fabric that was screaming at me, that jumped out at me, which was this brown, I went ahead and got, I wanna say maybe 6 or 8 yards of it to cover 3 cornice boxes. And at 50% off, I think I spent about $30 in fabric. And I'm just using a hot glue to adhere this fabric onto the cornice box. I tried to use a staple gun, but my staple gun just was not penetrating the wood and going all the way in. And so I figured, you know what? When all else fails, we're just gonna go with what I know, and that is hot glue. And the fabric's gonna stick just fine, and it's gonna look amazing. I think this cornice box maybe cost me $10 to recover. You can't beat that. Yeah, this one was kind of a bummer. I thought that I wanted to go the route of these sheer curtains with a linen in back of them. Once I got them up, I absolutely hated it. I think I have a picture of them. I'll insert later, but I ended up finding curtains after I had gotten these up that I absolutely fell in love with, that I had to have in my life. They had to be part of this room, and it came with a matching comforter, and so I just knew, yep, these are them. These are the splurge. I am going to do away with these other curtains and put these up, but I ended up finding a use for these curtains, so I was glad about that. You know me, I'm not gonna just throw them away. So you'll wanna stay tuned for that and stick with me on this transformation, because it's a fun one, and maybe I will inspire you and give you some ideas on how you can update your space on a budget. I hope you'll stick with me on this journey. I'm looking forward to the end of this, but I really like seeing the progression of how it is changing and really trying to envision what it's gonna look like. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. You'll wanna stay tuned for more updates. Until next time, everybody, I hope you stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, you know what I'm gonna say. Stay positive, please, because I'm sure trying. Bye for now, everybody.